Hey, I just wanted to make a video on PirateSoftware because, everyone needs to make a video about people, so why don't I? I just wanted to give my opinion about him. I don't think he's as bad as everyone is hyper fixating on. I think he's misunderstood, and I think that he lacks seeing the bigger picture of what's actually going on in the video game industry. And I wanted to talk about it for a second, give my perspective. So, he is essentially saying that the reason why companies, whether big or small, indie or, AAA companies, cannot keep up with preserving video games is because developers are actively pursuing the next game to make. And it would cut into the company's finances to sit down developers to dedicate them their time and their energy towards the preservation of video games. And I can totally understand the argument. I don't know why people are getting so fucking upset about this. But he's right, and at the same time, he's also wrong. And I want to go over some reasons why, and I just don't get why people really give him that kind of shit. Because I'm also going to give good reasons for why, he isn't actually that off either, too. So, something that's very similar towards video games and what's happening is movies. Movies have been around since like the 1880s or something like that. It's been around for like 150 years. There have been 1 million movies made. Okay. And I'm sure this has happened in history before, where essentially you have all these movies being made, and the film industry is just cranking out movie after movie. And after a while, there are people who are film connoisseurs or people who love movies. They want to have movies preserved, and they want movies preserved. And the video or the movie industry and the directors and the big companies are saying exactly the same thing. Look, we don't have time to set aside resources to preserve film. We're in the business of making films and to continually making films. And I think that this is going to be something that's going to be kind of cyclical and very parallel is with what has happened with the film industry is going to happen with the video game industry. Now, there's this thing called the Film Preservation Society. And they are just like what I described. These are people who enjoy movies, and they want to preserve movies for all people to enjoy for the rest of time. Oh joy, what beautiful, great people. But there is a bit of a catch-22 when it comes to things like, film preservation. And I'll admit it too. I don't have time, and I'm probably never going to have time, to watch every single movie that was ever made. And let's be honest, a lot of those movies fucking probably suck. Let's just be for real. Sometimes things deserve to die. I don't think every video game deserves to be preserved. And that's going to be the controversial take. Because just like in movies and in film, there are some things that are just not to higher quality standards. And people would argue, well, it all deserves to exist. And, I can understand that too. But let's be realistic, And, sometimes it's good to let things die and let things just, it's just a shitty fucking dragster game with your fucking dumb world record, you piece of shit old boomer. There are so many more better and impressive and good games out there. Why should we worry about your dragster piece of shit game? Why should we? And there's also the same argument when it comes to film. It's why should we preserve your piece of shit War of the Worlds movie that totally got like the worst reviews ever? I don't know if people are kind of just being too critical, or there's a lot of truth to that, but it comes into question, what are we actually looking to preserve, And I think that in ultimately what's going to happen with all of this is you're going to see like movies such as like Lord of the Rings, or Nolan's Batman films, or, Gone with the Wind, Lawrence of Arabia. You're going to see all these like monolith movies, just giant, everyone loves them. They should be preserved. People 100 years from now should be able to enjoy Lord of the Rings long after I'm gone, long after everyone who's alive today is gone. And it should be the true and the same about video games. And stuff like Halo 3, COD 4, Battlefield 3, Fallout series, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas, lots of games like what's everyone love now, Elden Ring. There's lots of different games that are just like way better than, let's be honest, the games of the past. And those games deserve to be preserved for 100 years so that people who are long gone from today can enjoy them. And there are so many fucking, little dinky video games like Dragster out there. There's countless Flash games on the internet that are, not even cartridge-worthy games that were just built for early internet days from like 2000, 2003. And I do think that they can be preserved, but I don't think that it's ultimately the troubles of the main people who produce those games to ensure that they're going to stay that way for the rest of our lives. And some of them, are pieces of shit games, let's be honest. Why preserve them? Why go through the worry? And ultimately, there's going to be a decision made where, I already know this, that video game companies, they want to protect their money, they want to protect their life supply. They want to milk their franchises forever. They want to re-release, Halo, the Master Chief Collection, when they're getting a little dry on money. They want to re-release these great games again and again to try and just milk their audience, and that's fine. Whatever. They're going to want to stay in control of these games. And I think the bigger thing that you have to kind of realize, though, too, is like these fucking video game monolith industries, they also need to let the community and let people who just really give a shit about video games properly preserve them. Just like, kind of what Hollywood did. We don't have time to sit and waste our finances and our ticket sales on preserving film. We need to take our money and make new film. We need to keep this fucking ball rolling so we stay alive as a company. So I think that's what's going to happen. And like I said, I don't know why people fucking think like he's the fucking Lucifer. He is kind of right. Not every fucking video game is worth fucking saving. Just like I would say, like, not every film is worth saving. And I don't have time for that, but maybe someone else does. Maybe someone else's opinion would redeem movies that they want to see. You want to watch a 100-year-old silent movie that's 45 minutes long that like got like a 2 out of 10 score? Be my fucking guest. You want to play fucking Dragster because some fucking boomer likes to pretend like he has a fucking world record for it? Fine, whatever. But that's all I'm saying. It's just, I don't get it. I don't get why people fucking, he's just clearly biased towards his own nature. And yeah, he ain't seeing the bigger picture for what it's worth. And not a lot of people are, but Yeah, that's all I have to say. He ain't fucking that bad. Just shut the fuck up.